Understanding Hookup Culture: What's Really Happening on College Campuses by Mikaela, Hawe, Leah, Connelly, Nicole, Saramago, Eldridge, and abety. This presentation has to do with the influence that dating websites and apps have on hookup culture among college students. Chivalry is very close to extinction. These websites have made it easier for hookups to become normal. The three main factors we have found are loneliness, social norms, and the fear of personal interaction. Loneliness is very common among college students. You're living on your own in a new environment that you aren't familiar with. It makes sense to feel alone in a campus filled with new faces.
Feeling that no one understands you, or maybe you feel nobody cares about you.
Dating apps have helped college students feel less alone. By going on these websites and apps, you get to meet other people just like you. In this article, this man describes his horrible luck with online dating. He says online dating is not a cure for loneliness. Why is this? He says what you feel is completely inside your own head. Your mind creates the chemicals for loneliness, which is the whole reason you're on the dating site to begin with, and the brain creates chemicals for perception. It's becoming very common on campus to see people using these apps for hookup purposes, not serious relationships. People can feel embarrassed to say they met their significant other on Tinder. Since when did just hooking up become a social norm? When you hear about one-night stands, they aren't as big of a deal as you would think, which is slightly concerning.
Tell me about the dudes you're meeting.
Mostly from dating websites.
Tell me about it.
Everybody's just there to hook up.
Fear of interaction is a big part of why apps are so popular. When you meet someone in person, you get to see their physical and intellectual attributes. But when you're just chatting online, you don't really get to understand their intellectual side. The bright side of this is that a lot of people are shy and have a hard time sparking up conversation, especially with someone you think is attractive. It's silly to think people are scared to interact with other beings. Is this what technology advancement has done to us? Apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Grindr are examples of apps that have made millions of matches over the past year. All these apps are places where people go to connect with strangers online. You may see someone attractive in person, but going up to them and just telling them might be a little strange, especially if they don't feel the same. But using these apps, you're able to swipe any which way and can turn an awkward encounter or possible rejection to a mutual hookup. But what's considered a hookup these days?
It's real. So what are the intentions of people?
Hookups.
What is a hookup?
Sex.
So if hooking up is just having sex, what does that mean about your college campus? Did you know that 1 in 4 college students has an STD? Yep, you heard it right. 1 in 4 college students. Rhode Island's Department of Health says that sexually transmitted diseases have increased since the making of hookup apps like Tinder. This picture shows that 11% of the American public in 2013 said they had used online dating services to find a date, but what was originally made to find relationships and love has quickly turned into the opposite. 1 in 10 Americans have used an online dating app and or website, and 66% of that fraction has gone on a date with someone they've met. 53% of people think that online dating helps them find a better match for themselves. The total number of single people in the U.S. is 54 million, and the total number of people who have tried online dating is 49 million. Why can dating online be dangerous? 54% of online daters felt someone seriously misrepresented themselves in their profile. The case of the Craigslist killer also shows how careful you need to be when you're meeting up with strangers. The show Catfish, which was aired in 2010, has shown multiple people being fooled into thinking the person they were talking to online was actually that person. You'd be surprised at how many people impersonate others. On this particular website, they talk about the positives of having dating apps. We just conducted a survey, they say, of over 300,000 of our users. What we found was over 80% of people on Tinder are there to find long-term relationships.
On Bumble, the ladies are required to make the first move. Once those women make a match, the app gives them 24 hours to reach out and start a conversation. Bumble launched at the end of 2014, gaining more than 3 million users. Women have made the first move more than 33 million times, and now Bumble is heading into the friend zone with Bumble BFF. The app uses its algorithm to help people find friendship.
Although these apps can help with your self-esteem, they can also lower your self-esteem. When finding someone very attractive, you hope they'll think the same way about you. But when you don't get matched, you start to wonder, why didn't they match you back? Your hair, your body, your face? What could it be? girls have found that they have begun to pick apart their physical features for using online dating. They don't meet your personality first, they just see your physical attributes. Although some people don't use these apps for hooking up, majority of college students are influenced by these apps to have only casual and sexual relations with others. This culture gets to live in a way that nobody has before, through the advancement of technology. Even if chivalry is dead, maybe it could be the start of something else.